Well. Hello and welcome to an evening for Korah. That's what I'm talking about. My name is Mark Bransma, and I will be your MC for the evening. And we are here tonight to learn about the community and the beautiful people of Korah, which is a community in Addis Ababa, the capital city of Ethiopia. So we are also here to celebrate the life-changing impact that Hope for Korah is having in this community. As many of you would know, this is our annual fundraising event, and I'm so glad that you've all decided to be here tonight, to take time out of your schedules and to join us tonight. I think that it'll be a memorable evening in a positive sort of way. I think it'll be enjoyable. I think it'll be inspiring. I think it will be touching at different points. And so just hope that you have a fantastic time tonight with us. And there's going to be a few things that are new or different this year. And one of those will be, of course, there's always new videos that are going to be shown. And so we're going to enjoy that. We also have a few very special guests tonight that are going to share. And so that is something that we are all looking forward to very much. Just to give you a little bit more of a context of what Korah, what the community of Korah is, because tonight we're going to be talking about a lot of things about, the positive impact that Hope for Korah is making, which is all very true and accurate. But it's also good to especially for those that haven't been before, because I think there's a lot of people that haven't been before. So tonight we're going to start by just giving you a sense of what the community of Korah is actually like. And I'm just going to read this because this is fairly important wording. But what began as an outcast community for those living with leprosy over 90 years ago has now grown into Korah, an impoverished urban district with nearly 200,000 people living there. Situated near the city garbage dump in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, it is characterized by some of the most extreme levels of urban poverty in the world. Poor sanitation, unsafe and unaffordable living conditions, lack of clean water, food scarcity, and flooding all contribute to the rapid spread of disease and illness. Rising inflation, it's a big thing there, is rapidly exacerbating these challenges and leaving many in increasingly desperate situations. Families survive through harsh and perilous means, such as begging, dangerous low-paying labor jobs, prostitution, or scavenging at the trash dump. So earlier this year, a few of the faithful supporters of Hope for Korah actually were traveling in Africa and were able to just stop in basically for a 24-hour visit and get the tour of the programs and get a taste of what Korah is actually like. And so there was some video footage that was taken at that time. And again, just invite you to take a look and just kind of see what the conditions and what this video is going to show is how a lot of people live in the community of Korah. And so I invite you to watch this brief video.
The flag. So is that what a lot of people?
We'll just come on in. See. Oh, this is your abat with the baby. Salam, Danana. How are you? Oh, he's asleep.
30 ብር ነበረ እኔ በመጣሁበት
በወር
ከክፍለ ሀገር እንዴት እንደመጣሽ?
ከክፍለ ሀገር እንግዲህ ይሻላል ወይ ብሰራና ቢያልፍልን ይሻላል። ትምህርቱ ለኔ ምንም አይሰራም። አመሰግናለሁ በጣም ቻንስ
I know, so they will, you can write letters.
Yeah.
You can.
Here, I'll show you my family.
ቤተሰቦቿን ታሳይሻለች አሁን
These are my kids.
ልጆች
ልጆቿ
ዋው
ልጆቿ ናቸው
እንዳንቺ ልጆቿ
These are my kids.
የኔ ልጆች ናቸው ያምራሉ they are beautiful
Oh, you're beautiful. You're beautiful.
they are beautiful she is just see ፈገግታ ciao
Five.
Somehow it works as a community again too, though, hey? Oh, what are they making?
something some dinner
Yeah, so that gives you a little feel for what it's like in Korah. I'm now going to invite up the matriarch for Hope for Korah, and the founder and executive director and friend, Eve Pohl.
Good evening. So great to be here with all of you tonight. Thank you so much for coming. It's just amazing to see this many people here. And I'm especially happy to have both Sosena and Patrycja here tonight. They're dear friends from Ethiopia, and I'm very excited for you all to meet them shortly. It's amazing that people can come from near and far, and we all gather in this room to support a community thousands of miles away. I'm also excited to share something new with you all tonight. As many of you know, over the years, we have been working to empower women, and most of them have been abandoned or they're widowed, and they're left to raise their children on their own. And over the years, I mean, we definitely have husbands and fathers in our families, but they have been fewer in number. But currently, we happen to have quite a few dads in our program, and we have 60 active families, and what I mean by that, these are families who have not yet graduated from our 3-year empowerment program. Well, it's less than 60, but it's getting close. And out of that, we have 26 fathers that are living in the home. So the need to come alongside these men has always been there, and our heart for many years, and we've talked about it many times, has been to how can we empower these husbands, these fathers. And we've actively, over the last 2 years, been looking in Korah for other organizations to partner with who are already empowering men. And I'm just, very sad to say that we could not find one. And so this is the year it's happening, and we're just excited that God has given us a way to start a program, to support those men that are living with the families and are committed to staying at home. In the past, the men living in home by default through their wives received support for basic needs, health care, and often marriage counseling, personal counseling. We really tried to help the men in that way and families as needed, but we were never really able to empower them. And so that's been something we've just really excited to do. And that's happening now, and we're very happy for what's happened this year. And in a moment, we're going to show you another short video in which you're going to see some of the highlights from this year with our men. In June, when Dave and I were in Ethiopia, we celebrated the very first Father's Day with all of them, and it was amazing. Almost all of our dads showed up. And you can see how encouraged and engaged they were. They themselves have often gone through their own trauma. Many have, grown up without parents or without a dad in the home. Few have had role models in their life, and so they're placed into families and begin having a family and really haven't really thought about the things that we have the privilege of being, so many books and helps and all the things, the supports we have here, they just haven't had as fathers or as mothers in Ethiopia. So we followed this Father's Day by a 2-day training for men on leadership and personal development, and every one of our fathers attended. Our goal is to strengthen families, and of course, if we can't do that without strengthening our men. And so last month, we hosted a couples workshop, because now they've both had these empowerment trainings, so we're bringing the couples together. You're going to get a glimpse of that, husbands and wives working together. And if you look closely, you will see Burke and Ndegana, the couple that we just saw when we were in their home there at the couple workshop together. So the changes underway in these couples is promising, and by working together, they have much hope for the future. If you saw this video that you're about to see not in context of Korah and what we're doing tonight, you probably might not realize or know the intense poverty that they're living in, the trauma, and the resulting changes that they're facing every day. So to come alongside them, for all of us at Hope for Korah here, the staff here in Canada and in Ethiopia and the board, it's such a privilege and a great joy for us, and I'm just very grateful, because all of this is made possible because of you, and because we've all come together, such as in a night like tonight, to tackle something that's way bigger than any of us could ever impact on our own. And so thank you for being here tonight and for all your support. I hope you're encouraged by this video.
Father God in heaven. Without a father in the home, life is much harder.
Different services that I get from here, it makes me feel that God is using you to build my house and to visit my house. And we all here today who are gathered, the fathers, we want to give you our promise, our words, to become good fathers, to really come alongside, to lead our family and to become good fathers. He's asking his friends, the fathers here in this room, to commit to being good fathers.
ረጅም ጊዜ በትዳር ያሳለፈ ሲባል
የጓላውን ማወቅ አልፈልግም። ግን እውነት ነው ሴቶች ያደረጉት ነገር አለ? ምንም የለም።
ያን የቤተሰብ መሰረት ምሰሶ ማለት ነው።
They're like a pillar for the house. Children are happy when their mother and the father they love each other, and when they live in peace, they are happy. So that is the base for their future. Jesus gave us love, His love, and His care. So a father is also responsible to love his family, to give love to his wife, to bring love as Jesus did. We are called and initiated by you guys to build our house, to build our families with peace And now it is our responsibility, it is our duty to build our own house, our own family with peace. And he's encouraging each one of his friends, the fathers here, to take responsibility and to take that step, because now the ground seems to be fertile and ready.
ሚስቶችም ደግሞ ለባሎች መመለስ ትችላላችሁ።
What he mentioned, thank you so much for organizing this. Like, you have gone so much beyond helping our children and our wives. This day we have learned to see far to the future, to see far about our life, and we thank you so much. That's what.
That is amazing. Strong families create strong communities. And so, Jake, I don't know where you're sitting right now. Jake and Sosie, thank you so much for the work that you are doing in your communities in this way. That support makes a huge difference. And it's just a blessing to hear the men recognize the opportunity that they were in and then just call each other to account to continuing practicing the strategies and working through those goals that they were making together as couples as well. My family's connection with Hope for Korah started 15 years ago, just 3 months after Eve and her friend Angie and her daughter went on their first trip to Ethiopia. And things didn't go exactly the way that Eve and her team had planned, but she found herself in Korah, in this incredible, beautiful community, and Dave and Eve's lives were changed, altered from that moment on, from the moment they met a wonderful lady named Belanesh who lived in Korah. As I walked through Korah 15 years ago, it was very much like that journey that we took in that 6-minute video. The destitution, the realness of the poverty impacted you in all of your senses. This past July, my family and I were able to go back to Korah. And just even after one day of connecting with Sosie and the incredible staff, the social workers, we were able to see God's faithfulness in 15 years of incredible life-transforming ministry that took place. And it just blew me away. And yes, we walk through those alleyways where that same poverty, that same realness, that same desperation exists. But now there's such hope through HFK. And that hope comes because community gathers like this. And over the years, an evening for Korah has just brought together the spirit of generosity, which has transformed this community, these people, these families, and enabled them to have these kinds of opportunities that we often don't think about in regards to how do we develop as a family, how do we work towards and pursue goals for the benefit of our children, for the benefit of our neighbors, for the benefit of and the uplifting of our community around us. And it's through these kinds of systems. I was just blown away at the staff. that Hope for Korah have hired, people who themselves have the story and the journey coming out of poverty and have been lifted out of poverty because of amazing systems of support. And now these staff members are trained, educated in Ethiopia, using their skills to do the same for their own country, for their own people, in their own communities. And it's absolutely incredible. So it's in that spirit of generosity that we want to just introduce this next moment. That wheel of cheese, this wheel of cheese right here, it kind of seems to represent the spirit of giving and the spirit of generosity at an evening for Korah. So we're going to auction this off, not in the live auction, but in a unique way. And I think we have a slide here. There we are. Okay, so you can text your name and your bid number to this number up here. And throughout the evening, we're going to update this. This is an echte rondje kaas van Nederland en Henry Willig since 1974. Well, I don't think this cheese is from them, but this company has been operating since 1974. It's actually perfect for tonight because this is a mild Gouda, and it says it's a Gouda that's slightly matured. So, Mark, you and your table should bid on this because you're just slightly matured too. So let's start that bidding process now as well. If you're interested, this is an incredible cheese. It'll be up here. You can take a look at it, feel it, the heftiness of it. But in the spirit of generosity, let's start the bidding on that. And that is an incredible opportunity for us to start that spirit of generosity. Thank you so much.
Slightly matured is better than not matured at all. So. Tonight we have two longtime supporters that are joining us, and they're joining us after just completing an epic journey, and we thought we couldn't do without recognizing them and having them on stage and just share a few minutes. But they have been raising money for 5 different organizations, including Hope for Korah. And they're doing this by embarking on ridiculously long and difficult bike rides. Tonight they are here after riding 7,600 kilometers. Picture this now, close your eyes if you need to, from Norway to southern Portugal. And so the money that they have raised for Hope for Korah, because people kind of are inspired by what they're doing, and then they give, and it's like, okay, give to these 5 organizations, including ours. And so the money raised that they raised for Hope for Korah has been going to the education and youth programs. And so as you will see, there's a short video. The kids are very thrilled by what Cycle 5 to Survive is doing and what PL and Kristen are doing on behalf of Hope for Korah, and more specifically on behalf of these kids. And so just watch this short video. They are thrilled, and this funding is making a difference.
Go Cycle 5! Go Cycle 5!
Go Cycle 5!
Go Cycle 5!
Go Cycle 5!
Go Cycle 5!
Go Cycle 5!
Go Cycle 5! Go Cycle 5!
Go Cycle 5!
Green grass grew all around, and the green grass grew all around. And in this egg, there was a bird, the prettiest bird that you ever did see.
My name is Zara Mukhi. I'm the specialist cardiologist doctor. እኔ መሆን ፈልገው የልብ ዶክተር ነው መሆን ፈልገው አሁን ሁላችሁም እንደዚህ ያሉ የንስች እንደዚህ ታጋለች እንደዚህ ልባችሁ እንደዚህ ታክላለች ማለት ነው። ደግሞ ሳምባ የሳምባ ህመም ያሻመመ አይሽ ብሎ ኃላፊ አውሮፕላኑ ያለው ይባላል። የሶስተኛ ክፍል ተማሪ ነኝ። ይባላል የሰጣት ስያሜ ነው። ሰኔ የሚለው የእንግሊዝኛ ቋንቋ ደግሞ
I'd like to invite PL and Kristen up to the stage to share for a minute as to why the heck they would do what they did.
Because you're so mature.
I was just waiting for that all night.
For those of you who saw the video last year, will get that joke. I'll say a few things. When we started the initial Cycle 5 to Survive, we created a purpose statement where we want to create cycles of opportunities for the less fortunate through sports, business, and education. Education, because my wife's an educator, business, because that's what I do, and we met through sports, and we think that those three pillars are very important. And when we approached the 5 charities, we asked them for one specific initiative that the funds we raised could go toward, and you just saw some of these pictures. I'm going to let Kristen speak because this is where the emotional part kicks in for me, and that's hard. So.
He's maturing, so this is what happens. Yeah, I think it's funny. I was just thinking our relationship with Hope for Korah has been over a decade, I would say. And it started just with a pen pal writing program for our kids. And so that Youth Empowerment Center has been a big deal because our kids have sort of been involved with some of those students from over 10 years ago. And so when we had the opportunity to pick a charity, we had a connection already. We like to ride bikes, so as he's digging in deeper to find his purpose, it was just easy for us to kind of do this, and we're really thrilled to be able to support that particular program. And honestly, last year, Sosena put on a bike race in Korah. It was incredible to see that they actually put this bike race together just for us, and they were chanting Cycle 5 to Survive. So the support from you guys as we were on our ride just was really powerful. So I just wanted to thank you for what you are doing with the money that people will raise here, that it is really, you guys are changing the lives. So.
And the cool part is these videos, they shared with us right before our ride, like literally 3 or 4 days. And if you follow us, you'll see our videos. We had some really high highs and some really low lows. And when you think about these videos, it's the little things like this that keep you going. And like we rode for 3 months, so it's you need little nuggets and encouragement along the way. So Hope for Korah is just an amazing supporter, and the timing of their messaging towards us through Instagram and other means, it meant a lot for us just to keep driving and create awareness for the charities. And I think we were able to do that.
So we got 3 more rides, so feel free to follow us and watch, and we'll
And
go.
Africa is one of them, and our
Yeah.
goal is to start in Korah
Yeah.
and figure out where we're going to go from there safely.
It takes a few routes. Thank you.
As a tiny token of our appreciation for what you guys have done, here's a bouquet of flowers. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Kristen, thank you so much. I like riding bikes too, but not that much. So thanks for what you do. Just want to take a moment just briefly to highlight sponsorship opportunities with Hope for Korah. Our family has sponsored a number of individuals and also now a family in Korah, Mikanan and his daughter Hiwat and Burku. And sponsorship is just a practical way to change life and to bring hope into a family or an individual, depending on how you want to sponsor. And so there are, Mel is out at the back table there, a sponsorship table. There's been slides that have been just going through over the evening, just kind of giving you an idea as to what the different sponsorship opportunities there are. And so we just want to invite you to consider sponsorship. I just want to say just one thing about our family that we sponsor. Burku is a young little boy with severe disabilities, and he is taken care of in such a beautiful way in the daycare, the Hope for Korah daycare there. He is valued and loved and brought into every aspect of daycare life, and that happens through sponsorship. It happens through opportunities that are created through evenings like this, and so we want to just ask you to consider whether sponsorship is something for you, your family, maybe a couple of people in your home group want to do that together, and just to provide monthly reassurance to families or individuals. You can also go to the website. I'm going to see the QR codes on the slides as well, so you can use your camera, pull that out that way, or you can also go to hopeforkorah.org/sponsor as well. Mark, do we have an update on the cheese?
I'd like to see one.
Yeah.
If there is one. Okay, well, we have a starting bid, basically. I mean, that's a starting bid. $500 is a starting bid.
Go up from there.
Yeah, let's get going from there. So again, get those phones out, get the bidding going. We have, 20 minutes or something like that left on that. So
become slightly more mature by bidding on the cheese and then eating the cheese.
The higher you bid, actually.
Yeah.
The higher you bid,
the more mature you will. Yeah.
Correct.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Get bidding. Also, I think there's some those surprise boxes that are left. And so if you haven't had a chance to buy one or haven't had a chance to buy enough of them, there's just maybe flag someone down, and there's an opportunity to buy a few more of those surprise boxes. By the way, the surprise boxes, at the end of the night, we're going to open them all together, and there's going to be a few cool surprise prizes. And so there will be some winners, and there's going to be some nice gifts in there. So again, $20 a box, and it just kind of, again, is another one of the things that helps raise a little bit of extra money for tonight. Okay, the next video we're going to see, in my mind, speaks to kind of the essence of what Hope for Korah is about. I mean, all these videos really are touching and meaningful in my mind, but this one gets to the essence of this family empowerment program that we do, where we take most of the time it's moms, single moms or married moms who basically need a chance at life, where there can be some stability in their life for a period of time, where they can get help with house rent, where they can get help with groceries, where they can go out and do some training. And some women want to go and start a little business, and some are quite entrepreneurial like that. But then others aren't, and they may not be interested in having their own business, but may be interested in looking at employment opportunities. And so over time, we've kind of recognized that, just like here, I mean, there's people that want to be entrepreneurial and want to start something. Other people prefer not to and are looking for employment opportunities. Same thing there. And so over the I think the last year or two, we've developed relationships with local businesses that have started to hire our ladies after they've gone through a certain amount of education, training to kind of prepare themselves for this. And when Dave and Eve were out there this June, they got to take some video and visit some of the women that had started. And there's this one place called Esset Coffee. And so if you can picture Starbucks, but better, this is where a few of our ladies have got jobs. And again, where you can picture where they're coming from in those earlier videos and now where they're kind of working. It's just a really fantastic situation, again, for them to have dignity, to have a job, to get paid, to be able to help provide for their family. And so I invite you to watch this 8-minute video about, again, just kind of what our empowerment program does and the impact it makes for these women that go through it.
Down this way. Salam Nesh. So beautiful. So good to see you. Wow. Aziza, Dananesh. So, how are you liking working here at this coffee shop?
I achieved my goal and I am happy. And I do this job with love. And I believe that I have to work to change my life. I thank you so much for the help and the support that I have received from Korah to change what I wanted and to be in the employment and in the training. The training that I received from Korah helped me to change the direction, and also your encouragement and the opportunities that I get. It also helped me to be here. I am committed and I receive my salary at the end of the month, and I am happy to work and to come here every day. I'm grateful to be given the second chance to go for the vocational training and to go on the employment track, because I worked hard, I tried my best, but it was not successful for me, the business part. I'm so grateful. I've been one of the most challenging person for you in the program.
No.
And thank you so much for helping me through.
Kedist, so great to see you here in your job. I'd love to just know like how you feel about now that you're working and in such a beautiful place.
I love my job. I'm working in this nice place, so I love it.
Like I remember when you first came into the program and we were visiting you in your home and you were having hopes and dreams for your future.
Her mother died while she was a kid, but at the age of 11, she lost her dad. She used to be a maid in different houses.
So what impact has this now had on your family?
I'm so happy and I'm encouraged to be working here.
What's the favorite part of her job?
Making pizza.
Making
That's
pizza.
her favorite part.
Another level of coffee ceremony, right?
Right, a whole new level.
That her?
Amasaganalo Mulu. This was so Batam Kanjo. Just loved it. The Buna was Batam Kanjo. How do you like working here?
I am very happy and I like it working here.
I remember when we visited you in your house when you very first started coming here. Did you ever dream that you would be working in a place like this?
መጀመሪያ ቤትሽ መጥቼ ስጎበኝሽ ደስ ይለኛል። እንደው እንዲህ ያለ ቦታ ብሰራች I have started like to dream about working to such places after I took the training. Before that, no, I never thought about it.
What was it about the training that allowed you to dream?
The training helped me to see myself with a different way to look at myself. The training helped me to see different options and different opportunities. Things in my life changed in different ways after I come to the programming program. God has changed my story. I never thought that I would be here where I am today. For me, it's a miracle to see myself here in this position. For me, I like to see those dark days past and to see myself in a new place. It is a miracle. I don't have the words to explain what I feel in my heart, the joy that I feel in my heart.
That brings us much joy. What was it like for you to see our women working there?
You know, like, it is all the different investment in the socio-economic empowerment program, the different pieces coming together, the vocational training and trying to help them to follow their passion. This is what I like about our program, honestly. This is unique. That's why it is expensive. It really is. And you put so much support in different direction. And poverty is not like simply, you cannot deal with poverty at the surface level. It is much deeper. And it is connected and rooted in it has different roots. So you just allow individual person to help you discover what assets they have, what things are holding them back. So it gives us a stronger power to break the cycle of poverty.
That is amazing. Women knowing their value, learning skills in programs, following their dreams, talking about their passions. graduating, celebrating these milestones, and stepping into careers, being able to provide for their families, being able to open bank accounts. When I started walking alongside Dave and Eve 15 years ago, when I joined the board, we dreamed of things like this, but we didn't know what was next. It was one foot, one faithful step after another. The things that had to have taken place over 15 years is just, it's amazing. It's miraculous. It's a work of God, and it has taken people. And so those words that Sosie shared in the van, that is Sosie's heart. Sosie is a new sister in Christ and a new friend of mine and of our family. I was given a bio to read, and then Eve wrote underneath, "If you need it." I need it. Because Sosie is very special to us, and she's a very incredible lady. We've met her before. We've just met her on video in years past, in an evening for Korah, and Sosie is with us now, so I get to introduce my new friend. Sosie believes that life is a precious gift from God, entrusted with a purpose to shine a light of hope and encouragement upon those around us. Growing up amidst the challenges of poverty, she developed deep understanding of the struggles faced by millions in her home country, Ethiopia. This empathy, combined with her academic background in sociology, social anthropology, adult education, and development, has fueled a passionate dedication to empowering communities. For nearly 2 decades, Sosena has devoted her career to development work, gaining invaluable experience in tackling the complex realities of urban poverty, creating effective empowerment strategies. Her journey has led her to the privilege of serving as country director for Hope for Korah, where she finds fulfillment in her calling to transform lives. She is deeply respected by her staff, the HFK staff and country. She dreams for them. She dreams for all of the families and the children that are connected with Hope for Korah. She has vision. She shares her vision. She hires according to that vision, and lives are changed. Sosie is married and blessed with 4 children. She holds a master's degree in holistic child development, master's in adult education, and she is a lifelong learner, and undergraduate degrees in sociology and social anthropology. Her dream is to see people rise out of poverty, living with dignity and hope for a brighter future. Let us welcome Sosie to the stage.
Good evening. እንደምን አመሻችሁ. That's Amharic. Mark, I told you, you're not giving Amharic class today because I'm here. It's truly an honor for me to be here among you kind, generous people. I have been anticipating, dreaming about this moment, to stand here, to see all your faces, because I am filled with so much gratitude for what you do. I arrived on Thursday afternoon, my first time here in Canada, in North America. All what I have seen, starting from the moment that I arrived at Hope for Korah office, which is Eve's home, is people coming together and working together to bring hope and a future for a community that is thousands of miles away from here. It is such an honor to meet you today, to see your faces. I have one message for you, to say thank you for what you are doing. What you are doing is making a difference in Korah, in my country, where I love the people so much, where I know what the experiences of growing up and living in poverty means. As I reflect on my journey, I am reminded of the struggles I faced growing up. Losing my father at the age of 15 plunged my family into poverty, with my mother left to raise 5 children with no financial support. Those were the trying times, marked by the absence of basic necessities and support. However, this adversity ignited a fire within me, a determination to change my circumstances through education. Throughout my high school years, I was fueled by the pain of our situation, which strengthened my resolve to secure a government scholarship. It was in these final days of high school that I plugged to bring out my very best. Despite the challenges, my unwavering faith in Jesus Christ, my Lord, was my anchor during those dark days. Through His grace, I was able to attend college. Nonetheless, the challenges I faced only fortified my confidence, my resilience, and independence. This path has led me to my life's calling, serving the community. This is not just a job for me, but it is a mission. It is a mission that I love to do every day, to serve my country, to serve the people I love in Ethiopia. Working alongside the impoverished, helping them discover their potential and achieve independence is where I find my purpose. Every day at Hope for Korah, not only me, but most of my colleagues are also connected to those families we serve, and this gives us all an opportunity to do what we wished for us to happen and pay back what we received years ago and do it for others who need it. This reminds me of a moment I had weeks ago during a home visit with one of our newly received young mothers. I witnessed a powerful moment of connection. My colleague, who had experienced a similar struggle 18 years ago, shared her own story of loss and hardship. She has given birth to twins, but due to her own deprived economic and social status, she lost one of them. Now she is filled with joy to see Libanos, this young, beautiful mother that you see in this picture, a mother of twins, one with special needs, receive the support and resources she desperately needed. This moment underscores the incredible impact Hope for Korah is making on the lives of mothers and children in Ethiopia. It serves as a constant reminder of why our work is so vital. In the delicate absence between despair and hope, there exists a profound difference, a family struggling to survive and one that is thriving. Your generous support for the Family Empowerment Program lays the groundwork for the brighter future. It empowers mothers with the ability to provide for their children, ensures that children receive the education they deserve, and offers families a pathway out of the cycle of poverty. Every dollar donated, every prayer lifted, and every letter written, and every kind word shared, each contributes a powerful force for change. In the faces of the families we serve, I see your compassion mirrored back. Hope replaces despair, and strength overcomes weakness. The transformative impact you are making in the lives is truly remarkable. And for this, I am grateful. I say thank you. Thank you so much.
I still remember the day that I met Sosie for the first time, probably about 7 years ago. And she had just been hired by Hope for Korah and had some job. I'm not sure what it was at the time. But I remember thinking, she is a lovely person. She's sharp, she's witty, and it'd be pretty cool if she had an opportunity to rise up in this organization at some point. And it just turned out that about a couple years later, so now about 5 years ago, the opportunity came to be able to hire her as our country director, and we're so grateful for her, and so great. Don't cry. So grateful that she can be here tonight with us, and so yeah, we just are so pleased with her capability and clearly what you heard, her heart. Our program is almost over. Do we have an update on the cheese? Okay, the cheese. Okay, $1,000. Okay, yeah, keep the number up there if you guys can do that, because we are going to, I'm going to talk slowly because we're going to have to close that thing off in a few minutes, and so get those texts in. Usually, if you go 5,000, that kind of usually wins it. So I mean, we can just like skip. Yeah, sometimes, not all the time. Okay, but let's just not mess around anymore here. Okay, $1,000. Okay, so now I have the privilege to invite another person to the stage here in a moment. Over the last few years, our organization, through our deputy country director, Jake, who's also here tonight, and normally he would be like, oh, he's a guest, he's going to be on the stage talking, and based on who else we have here tonight, there's no room for him on the stage. But Jake is such an awesome guy, and he's been able to make a lot of connections with various embassies, foreign embassies in Addis. And he's a great networker, and he's been able to make connections with foreign embassies, including the Canadian embassy. And last spring, I believe, a new Canadian ambassador came to represent Canada in Addis, and came with his wife and 3 children, and they got posted there. And since that time, while her husband has been serving as the Canadian ambassador to Ethiopia, Patrycja has become an ambassador for Hope for Korah. And so she has extensive experience in building various programs. I'm not going to do her CV justice here, but I mean, in building programs, she's led teams. She's as a linking policy with actual practice, and so she is someone that we gotten to know over the last year and a bit, and somehow along the way she offered, and it came together that she was going to leave Addis for a week or whatever and come out here to join us for this event. And with Sosena coming out, those two left Ethiopia, I think, about a week ago, and Monday. Oh, And then they were in Montreal for a few little events that Patrycja organized with her network there. And then, of course, made the trip out to Vancouver. And so tonight we are very pleased to recognize or to invite and to hear from Patrycja Maksalon. Okay, yeah, okay. And so Patrycja is going to come, and when Patrycja starts talking, okay, that will actually officially end the bidding for the cheese. Okay, so Hosanna. So you got to be quick here now, okay? Because she's gonna walk slowly up to the stage. When she starts talking, that ends the bidding for the cheese. So again, text for the next 30 seconds. And I would like to invite Patrycja up.
Okay, I see what you mean. The lights are very blinding. Okay, can everyone hear me? First of all, okay. Wow. So I had 4 pages of a speech prepared and kept trying to narrow it down. I am so humbled and privileged to be standing here with all of you. Not in front of you, but with all of you, in the support of the unbelievable work that Hope for Korah is doing. Each one of you who's here probably has a longer standing relationship than I do. I stumbled upon Hope for Korah almost by accident. It was at a community market at the school where our kids go, and there were baskets that I was drawn to as I was walking around. Beautiful hand-woven baskets that you can actually purchase tonight if you would like. And I went up and started talking to the person at the table, and they had them set up so beautifully. And I didn't know much more other than, we're located, you can get these baskets at another shop, which is also linked to Canada, called Sabahar, that makes textiles, and I was told that's where I could get the baskets. But then as I dug a little bit deeper, because I like to do that, I found out more that there is actually a location for Hope for Korah, which is a little hidden and off the beaten track. And prior to my husband going in to do his credentials, I wanted to have something to present to the president, which I was not allowed to do in the end. But in my naivete, I thought, I'm going to put together a basket that is something here, Ethiopian, and then fill it with some things from Canada, so that's to bridge the link between the two countries. And so I went and I found Hope for Korah, where the baskets are being made, and I walked in and I was met by Sosie and Jake, and they didn't know who I was, I didn't know who they were, but it didn't take long for us to recognize that we were instant friends. And I just said I was just looking for something, and right away, because they treat everyone that walks into Hope for Korah as a VIP, they offered me a coffee ceremony and brought out popcorn. Again, no idea who I was or why I was there, just because they treat every single person they meet with a sense of dignity and humanity. And that is at the core of everything that Hope for Korah does. It isn't just about having a set of skills to develop or a system that you walk through and check off check marks. It is about seeing the unique contribution of every single individual. And what that does is when women come into the program with their families, the program breathes dignity back into their life. These are women who, as you've seen, have nowhere else to go and have ended up in one of the most difficult places in the world. And Hope for Korah meets them and reminds them who they are and reminds them that they can dream. When Sosie dreams and when she hopes, those dreams inspire the women that she connects with. And as she does that, she listens to what they need. And every single staff member at Hope for Korah does that without hesitation, without pause. Whether it's with a child or with an elderly or anyone, they look at the heart and the soul of that person and respond to what they need. What amazes me is that they're able to do it for every single element of the program. So you start off bringing in a woman and you say, okay, we're going to try and figure out a way how we can empower you. And we're going to create this vocational program that's going to have these elements that will teach you life skills so that you can go work at a coffee shop or make pizza and feel a sense of dignity, not through aid, not because we've handed out money, but because you are worthwhile and you show up for yourself. But then as you do that, these women come, as we all do, as all humans do, with a complete package and a complete story. So you can't put someone into a program if they have medical needs, and therefore Hope for Korah also has a medical program which the women go through and which attends to their physical needs. If we're not healthy, we can't do anything else. It starts with that. And then many of these women and many of these families have traumas that they're sorting through. There are staff in place that meet these women at their trauma and don't hide from it and don't shy away from it and don't judge it, but sit with it and hold space and offer strength to walk through that trauma together. And of course, many of these women have children. So how are they to start a journey of employment or look for their own vocation when they have to stay home and take care of their children? So Hope for Korah has a daycare program that is magical. It's a daycare program that I would send my children to anywhere in the world. And any of us as parents know that sending your child somewhere, it has to speak to your heart. It has to be a place where you know your child will be safe, and Hope for Korah provides that. There is an elder care program that's available as well, and that takes care and nurtures the communities as they go on. As the children get older, they need after-school programs. Those programs also run. You saw the example of the youth empowerment program, so I don't need to speak more to that. There is a feeding program because for many of these families, the kids go off to school, as Sosie did at one point in her life, not having a meal. And so the program for breakfasts means that over 500 kids will walk through within any day and week, and they are met with a warm plate of food, with warm tea, or on Tuesdays and Thursdays, milk, which is their favorite day. And not only are they nourished with a healthy meal, filled with protein, filled with vitamins and minerals, their soul is nourished with community. They come together from wherever they are walking out of, wherever they may have slept, whatever their family circumstances. They walk into a space that makes them feel connected in community. The young children come together, and the older children are empowered with a sense of purpose because they are invited to act in service within that community. So little kids, they'll come in and you say, we've got pancakes. That's great. I'll come. But as kids get older, they don't want to be coming. Food isn't always even enough. And so Hope for Korah, in their thoughtfulness, attends to that need too and ensures that everyone feels like they are valued. Every part of the program looks at the unique gift that each one of us has to offer and sees it in every single person that walks in. A little side story about the baskets. Those baskets were born out of the fact that women in the vocational programs were falling through the cracks. There were some women that couldn't follow through, just like the entrepreneurship program, where partnering with organizations for women to be able to work somewhere, the basket weaving program did the same thing, where women, because of their trauma, because of their age, because of their physical ability, weren't able to move through a different vocational program. Hope for Korah created a training program with something that is indigenous to Ethiopia, basket weaving. And these women come in, and if you look at those baskets, they are signed by the women, and their names are on them. And they come in, and that's their job, and that's their source of income. And it brings them joy, and it also brings them community. They come together in space, and they know they are not alone. And we all know, no matter where we live in the world, no matter the color of our skin, no matter whether we are in poverty or in wealth, without community, there is no healing. And that community is such an integral part of that process. And when I think about how this all started, I understand the ripple effect and why it attracts the most incredible staff on the ground, and why it's created a program that rivals many programs that we even have here. Just last week, I took someone to Hope for Korah from Canada who's a longtime teacher, and she walked out and she said, Can I get some consultation of how to bring these programs into the education system in Canada? Because it's amazing. And when you look back and you think about the matriarch of this organization and her first trip to Ethiopia, she walked into Korah. Yes, it was by accident. In some ways, it was not the intention of the trip. And she was met with extreme poverty, thousands of people living in a way that we can't even begin to imagine. No matter how hard we try, and even from the videos, you can't really get a genuine sense of the depth of challenge that these families live through. And she looked around, and you can imagine we're all faced with an abundance of need and tragedy in the world, even in our day-to-day lives, sometimes the simplest things. And it can be paralyzing and it can be overwhelming because we look at it and we think, what can I do? As one person, there are thousands of people here. How do I break this cycle of poverty as one person? And in that moment, that is the space of where the decision gets made. And Eve in that moment said, I can't fix all this, but I can still do something. And so she went and she spoke to someone, and she spoke to one of the women, and she asked what she could do for her. And she did that one act for her. And she didn't change the entire cycle of poverty at Korah, but she changed this woman's life. And from that, Hope for Korah bloomed. A year later, there were more sponsors. And now, many years later, there are even more. And every single one of you, whether you are a sponsor, whether you are a longtime member of Hope for Korah, or whether this is your first time coming in and hearing about Hope for Korah, you are a part of that change. And so I return to what Sosie started with, which is deep gratitude for every single one of you in this room, and for every single person that is in your lives. Because in your actions and what you choose to do, you inspire all those people. And you are the reason that Hope for Korah is able to maintain the beautiful act that started with Eve, to stop and say, maybe I can't do everything, but I can do something. And that's where it all begins. So thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you for your light. Thank you for recognizing that no matter where we are in this world, we have more similarities than we have differences. We all feel joy. We all feel heartache. And we all want to feel a sense of dignity in who we are and a sense of purpose in what we do, and have the opportunity to dream our dreams and live our lives. And thank you for empowering people on the other side of the world who are just like you to do that. And to close off, I put together a little video because sometimes pictures speak louder than words. And it's of some of my interactions with some of the children and women and families. And you've seen some of the heartache, you've seen some of the accomplishments. The purpose of this video is for you to see the joy that you inspire. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
If you see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he sowed, and if you see your sister falling by the way, just stop and say, you're going the wrong way. You've got to try a little kindness, show a little kindness, just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll overlook the blindness of broken-hearted people on their broken-hearted streets. Hey! Let's show 'em what you can do, guys. Yeah. Don't you walk around down and out like a helping hand instead of doubt. And the kindness that you show every day will help someone along their way. You've got to try a little kindness, show a little kindness, just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll overlook the blindness of the broken-hearted people on the broken-hearted streets. You've got
That is awesome. Thank you so much, Patricia. Just going to close this program portion of the evening in prayer. Sosie, I need to be reminded of the daycare teacher's name. Sorry? Zyka, right? Tiana, you were right. Sorry. Zyka is this incredible lady. Patricia spoke of the daycare program and how amazing it is. And we spent an afternoon with her, and she was showing off the daycare. And at the end, Christine, my wife, asked what we could pray for. There's just so many needs in Korah. And it struck us as a family that she says nothing. Well, the thing that I want prayer for is, she just said, prayer, gratitude. There is just so much that we are so thankful for. So there's like a million things that Psyche could be asking prayer requests for, but she said, let's just spend some time in prayer, thanking God for his goodness to us. And so I'm going to pray that way this evening in closing. In the midst of that tension, right? We saw and we recognize the poverty, the difficulty that more than 200,000 people live with in Korah. And yet, I want to close with a prayer of thanksgiving and gratitude for all that God has done in the last 15 years, is doing now, and will continue to do. And it takes amazing people like yourself that God is using as well. So let's just close in prayer together. Lord, I thank you for that spirit of gratitude that comes out of difficulty. Thank you, Lord, for all of the incredible stories, just the touch point, the small threads of incredible stories that have emerged throughout this evening. Lord, it is undeniable that you are at work in this amazing community, that you are using empowered leaders who are educated, who are passionate, who are doing your incredible will. Lord, there is difficult stories, but Lord, there is hope and there is light because of the work that Hope for Korah is doing. Lives are being changed. Thank you, Lord, for that transformation. Thank you, Lord, for each person here, whether they've been longtime supporters of Hope for Korah or this is their first time with Hope for Korah. Lord, thank you that evenings like this can make a huge difference. Thank you, Lord, that you use us. Thank you, Lord, for all of the leaders, our brothers and sisters in Hope for Korah, who are doing this incredible work. Thank you, Lord, for all of those moms, dads, children that are connected through the programs, Lord. You see their value. You love them, Lord. Thank you, Lord, that we get to walk alongside them in this special way too this evening. Thank you, Lord, for this great opportunity. You are awesome. In your name we pray. And everybody together said, Amen. All right, Mark, are you going to update us on the cheese?
Yep. This slightly matured cheese has been won for a bid of $3,000.
Whoa.
So
that's good.
And I'm not going to say his name. He prefers to stay anonymous, but I also know that he is slightly matured himself.
Yes.
And so we thank him for that bid of $3,000. Oh, sorry, 3,500. Yes.
Excellent.
Silly me, 3,500 for this. And I have just, really? Just behind, okay, yeah, this one.
Wonder what he's up to. Oh, will you look at that?
I've just been notified that there was a second row,
There's a second one.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it went to the second bidder at $2,500. And so together we have, if my math is correct, $6,000 from these two wheels of cheese. So
that
thank
is
you
awesome.
to you big bidders out there.
Thank you so much. So good.
Okay, so that, where are we at here now? Okay, that concludes the kind of the program part of the evening. We have about, we're going to take a little break, 10 minutes, get up, use the washroom.
That's a hard
stretch.
10 minutes, just 10.
Yes.
Not 11.
Because we are going to get you out of here by 9:30, but we still have the live auction, which, again, if you haven't been here before, you got to be here for the live auction. If you've been here, get those cards warmed up and get them ready. But we're going to turn the house lights on. We're going to give you 10 minutes to, by the way, the silent auction is going to close in 10 minutes as well. So get up, stretch, use the washroom, get your final bids in, and also buy a couple more surprise boxes that Jim will be walking around with. And so take a quick break, and we'll see you in 10.
The plants are for sale, the tablecloth, the coffee pot. You can purchase them at the market. We've got door prizes in 10 minutes.
Yes, yes.
Lots still coming, folks.
The next item up for auction is the Berta. As you know, we sold this quite a bit in the past, and we're going to ask Jake to speak a little bit about this.
Good evening. Today I'm thrilled to highlight our Berta breakfast feeding program, or as we simply call it, Berta, which in Amharic means to have a strength. Berta is an initiative that not only fills hungry bellies, but also nurtures dreams and aspirations for over 550 children 5 days a week. Imagine the sight. It's early morning in Addis Ababa, and the sun just begins to rise. One by one, children of all ages start to trickle in, their faces lighting up with the eagerness to get their hands on a warm Berta pancake. And for some, reluctant to open their sleepy eyes, breakfast comes early in Korah. Within an hour, more than 550 precious faces fill our space, each one bringing with them unique stories, dreams, and challenges. For many of these children, the breakfast we serve is not just a meal, it's a lifeline. It is often the only hot, nutritious meal that these kids get in a day. When our dedicated staff greet these children with warm smiles and words, they aren't just serving a breakfast. They also are bringing love, support, and a sense of belonging. These encounters transform our feeding center into more than just a place to eat. It's a safe haven where children feel valued and deeply cared for. Beyond nourishment, the Hope for Korah Berta feeding program plays a vital role in building a foundation for a brighter future. By providing these children with a nutritious start to their day, we empower them to focus better in school, to engage with their peers, and to pursue their passions. We are changing lives one hot pancake at a time. Every child deserves access to healthy food, but they also deserve the chance to dream and to believe in themselves. With each meal we serve, we are helping to foster hope, resilience, and determination among those we feed. Our work reminds us that our impact goes far beyond a simple breakfast. As we continue this vital program, I invite each one of you in this room to be an important part of it. Together, we can ensure that no child goes hungry, all while cultivating an environment where they feel loved. Typically, I would have a bag of Berta that represents those 550 children that we feed 5 days a week. It's a crucial part of our program, and it's thanks in part to the kindness and generosity of so many of you. I know during this live auction, this is one of the biggest things that we're going to bid on. So I just want to say thank you so much. It's a privilege for me to be here tonight. And yeah, let's bid high.
Thank you, Jake.
Hi, everyone. I know it's late. I'll be brief, okay? We're so happy you're all here. I know it's the end of a long night. We have a few more things to bid on. And every year I get the privilege of talking a little bit about the medical program. I'll try to just be succinct with my stories. I have a few that are pretty close to my heart today. If you choose at the end of this evening to sponsor a student or a family, you will get the privilege of experiencing what my family got to experience this year in these stories. So a difference this year is that I need glasses to see. So forgive me. So the Hope for Korah medical program and staff are instrumental in the mission of Hope for Korah, breaking the extreme cycle of poverty and keeping families together, or in some cases, restoring families back together. How do they do this, you ask? Let me give you some examples. So when we first met Itara, picture should come up. So that is some of my first memory. This is 2014 when our family lived in Ethiopia. We came across these two young guys, and this wheelchair that this fellow was in didn't go over the rocky road that he was having to traverse. So he had come into Korah, and he had infections in both his legs. He had gone to get treatment at the local hospital, and they had amputated both his legs. He managed to get through another organization, this wheelchair that didn't help him get anywhere. So I think he might have had a grade 1, maybe a grade 3 education. But this is him at 18 and his buddy was 16 or 17. Their families had both, they were of no use to their families anymore. So they were in Korah and they needed support. So we began with him as we do within the medical program, with trying to bring health stability, which will enable the rest of the programs to work. So when he's sitting in a wheelchair and he can't get around without somebody to wheel him places, that's a problem for productive living and for getting education. So we were able to find an organization that made prosthetics, and then we were able to find and partner with physiotherapy to teach him how to walk on those prosthetics. Just this year, just a few months ago, I received our final sponsorship report on Itara, which is what you'll get to receive one day if you sponsor a family. And he has graduated, he finished his education, he ended up going into vocational training, and because he was able to be functional, he had gained confidence, competence, he actually was able to reestablish a relationship with his family, and he ended up moving back to the countryside where he was from. And so there were those family relationships that were restored. That was pretty special for us. So he's no longer part of the program, but that's what the medical program does in some instances. This is our kids way back when we got to meet him, but can you show the graduation picture, the next one? Great, there it is. So that's the last one we got to see. The next story is also one when we were living in Korah in 2014, we met Mulikin. So you can go to the next picture. Mulikin was a young man that was living, also 18 years old, grade 5 education. He had been gored by an ox way north, working in the fields with his family. It was such a large wound, so the horn had gone in his leg, and he got an infection in his bone, and it never healed. He was never able to get the proper medical care. So that year, there was a very generous donor that was able to get him help through a private hospital. We were able to look after him through the clinic, do daily dressing changes. So he got good medical care, he got great follow-up care, and he actually healed. So over the last 10 years, he has gone from grade 5 education. He studied so hard. He graduated from grade 12. He went into vocational training. He's now currently studying to become an accountant, but he's supporting himself through part-time work in the emergency department of a local hospital while he's doing that, and he's living independently. That's a lot of hard work, a much longer story, but so successful, and we're so delighted. This is him also selling clothing and shoes, as he does with the skills that he learned through the vocational training, and he is also studying to be an accountant. So that's what the Hope for Korah program does with people that come into our program that need medical help at the start. Sometimes people get sick while they're in our program. This picture here now, the next one, is on the right-hand side is a man named Sarebo. So he was a husband that came into our program, and in the course of his time with us, he developed gastric cancer. So he needed surgery, he needed radiation and chemotherapy, and so our clinic staff supported him through that time with his care. And he is now working as a guard with us. He has lots of other skills, but that is his current employment, and he helps support his family. We continue to support his children through our program, but that is also what our medical program does. We also support elders, so people with chronic illnesses. There's lots of them in Korah. There's not a great health infrastructure for that. So these young men, our nursing staff, follow up with them every day. They provide dignity for them. all of these, well, not, you shouldn't say all of these men, most of these men came to Korah because they had leprosy and they were stigmatized, they left their homes, and this has become their home, this has become their community, and there's no old age homes in Ethiopia, not that we've been aware of. It's not been a way of life and culture there, and so they receive very good care for their needs and their chronic health needs, and that's something else that we do with our beneficiaries as well as these elders. Finally, we could not do any of this work without our medical staff. And so you see this here. And so your support of the medical program doesn't just provide medical care at the front end of the program or during the program. It provides all kinds of other things like deworming. And you heard them talk about the daycare program. I think you talked about that, Patrycja, the daycare program. So this year alone, there were 39 children in the daycare program that were screened for malnutrition. 6 of them were extremely malnourished. And that just means that in standardized measurements, they are on the bottom level. And so that regular screening that's done every 6 months with our children 0 to 5 in the daycare program by our health staff identified 6 children that then receive the nutritional and vitamin follow-up that they need to have proper brain develop and benefit from education that they go on to. That's another thing they do, plus deworming, plus. But these are the ones that do it, these lovely, this is Malaya. We visited our health staff in the summer, but our medical program and our medical staff do all these things for our beneficiaries so they can benefit from the programs that you've already heard about, that you're already supporting. And we would not get to the graduation often without bringing that health stability so they can learn, work, and provide for their families. So I thank you so much for your historic support and for the support that you will continue to provide by funding this program and our staff that do it.
Okay, that pretty much wraps up our evening. I know it's long. Thank you for bearing with us. I just also want to make a few quick thank yous to our tech team tonight. You guys did a fabulous job with the sound and the lights and everything.
Video.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
And also, there is a lot of volunteers that contribute to this evening to setting everything up to begin with. We'll wrap everything up, that are selling boxes and things like that. So let's just give a round of applause to all our volunteers as well.
And the HFK staff. Good job.
And okay, so last thing we're going to do here, of course, after we do the surprise boxes, we're going to open them up, and then you're free to leave, and you're going to be exiting, and then, of course, whatever you've purchased throughout the night, of course, if you've what? Okay, so there's, on your way out, you're going to be checking out, of course, if you bought anything on the live auction, silent auction, make sure you take that with you and purchase that on the way out. But we'll open up the surprise boxes. If you've won anything, you're going to go see Jim just on the way out. And good luck, and thank you again for the night. We really appreciate you being here.